It is recording. Hey, everybody. This is Thursday, November 9th, Business Relations Strategists weekly call. And Sanal is joining us today. Sanal said this is the first time that she's joined. I'm going to share some resources, have interactions with you, and then we take it from there. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. So why are you part of this group, Sanal?
I want to get better at maybe how I interact with people through LinkedIn.
Okay. Have you been reacting to people on LinkedIn?
A little, but yeah.
Okay.
It was
So
just
how about, go ahead.
it was just basic conversation. Uh,
Basic
one,
conversation.
yeah. So maybe I can start a conversation, but how to keep it going?
Okay. Do you have would you mind sharing your screen? And then let's
Yes.
talk about the specifics. Hang on, let me just allow that. Hi, Prathusha. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hi.
How are you? Welcome to the call.
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thanks.
Awesome. So Sanala is sharing one of the conversations that she had to use it as we have these weekly calls, and the intent is that when you reach out to people and you get stuck, when we started this initiative in the beginning of the year, I asked students if they had questions, and they were like, no questions. And then what I want you to know is that when you're stuck and then you come into calls like this and we teach you ways around it, that is where the learning occurs. So if you're getting ghosted, if you opened up a conversation, it got somewhere and then it got disappeared, these are the calls that you want to get on so that I can help you get through those roadblocks, if you will. And Sanal is kindly sharing the first conversation of today. Feel free to share, please. Pratyusha, feel free to prepare your messages that you have questions with, or you could just ask me in general. It's pretty much free form. So we're just having a conversation.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Absolutely. So now are you able to share the screen?
I am not able to share the screen because I think I'm joining via my phone.
I've had calls with students where they actually, it amazed me because they were able to share their phone screen. Either that or you can cut in. You're on your phone right now?
Yes.
Okay, we can do verbal. So tell me what you said in the opening conversation. What did you tell? Verbatim.
Yeah, just a minute.
Uh-oh, we scared Pratyusha away.
Mostly I started with I hope this message finds you well. We met at a career fair last week, and I would like to connect with you on LinkedIn. So she had said I'm happy to connect, and I did not have a reply or how to go forward or how to keep the conversation going.
Okay. So this was somebody that you met, so it's not totally cold.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Pratiksha. So say what you said again, please. Verbatim.
We met at a career fair last week. I'd like to connect with you on LinkedIn. And she had replied, but I'm happy to connect.
Okay, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me share my screen again. Pratiksha, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we're just having a conversation, and what I started saying earlier is weekly we have these calls so that when you guys are doing your outreach and then you get stuck, this is where we answer your questions. So Sonal just shared that she opened up somebody that she met at career fair, so it wasn't totally cold. So she met somebody and she said, we met at the career fair, and then the person responded, and then Sonal is kind of stuck. So let's get you unstuck. Let me share resources with you guys. So once you go into the index like this, and then you search for hashtag business relations, which is the first topic here, there's 3 groups of messages that could help you in your outreach. So the first group of messages is called Connect Cold. The second group is called Connect Practice. And the third group is called Connect Messaging. So FYI, Sonal, so that you can
Yeah.
practice some more, these people that you have here, Connect Practice, there's 20 people that you can connect with and practice some of the opening lines that we teach you in Connect Cold. So in your case, you got stuck saying, I'd be happy to connect, and then she connected, right?
Yeah.
And then you got stuck.
Yes.
So
How to keep on moving, or like how to keep the other person interested.
So let me go into hashtag business relations, and we'll talk about a specific case. Connect Cold 3, Dalton. So you could refer to this, okay? Steve Dalton is the author of the book, The 2-Hour Job Search, The 2-Hour Job Search. I didn't know that he was invited to Illinois Tech, but as you will see in my message, I just reached out to him, and it obviously worked because he connected and then he said something. So my message said, hey, Steve, saw your book in my boss's office, just read a summary. And he obviously connected and he said what you're seeing on the screen. So question number 1, why do you think my message worked?
It was an open-ended message, like it made him wonder.
Very good. So in your case, contrasting that to what you said, hi, we met at the career fair, I'd like to connect. Right?
Yeah.
What could you have done different so that you would keep the conversation going? You got what you wanted because you said you'd like to connect and then they connected. How could you have said your message further to kind of like mimic what I did with Steve Dalton? No
Maybe
clue?
mention some conversation which we had.
Exactly. Very good. I like that you said that, Sonal. So there was something in the exchange that you had when you met this person face to face. So a logical thing to do is to bring something up that this person would remember you by. Okay. But before we go to that, I want to share with you that whenever you're messaging, these are the design principles for the message. You see it on the screen. The first one is it's got to be short. The reason we say that it's short is, as you can see on my screen, when I open it up, I could tell that's not good. I didn't want it to do that. Why isn't it showing me any message? The list couldn't be loaded. Okay. Well, we'll go this route. You could tell in my messages on the left who sent me a long message or a short message,
Yeah.
right? So the idea when you send messages, the reason you want it to be short, it's very obvious that they'll be able to read it in the first few lines out here. I was trying to open this other one up, but it's not loading any messages. That's a LinkedIn glitch at the moment, but we're being strategic in the messages that we send because we want them to be short. Dalton. So for example, what could you bring up from your conversation?
I'm just
I'm
trying
letting
to
you
remember
practice.
conversation.
Okay, here's another way to do it. If you forgot the conversation, what's this person's name? Let me go to their URL. The next easiest way to have something to talk about is their profile. So let's practice. Do you want to spell the name for me?
Yeah, just a minute.
You don't remember it offhand either.
Yeah.
Pratiksha, is this making sense?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
It is
Feel free to jump
Rituanan.
in.
Mhm.
RITU space
RITU. Uh-huh.
ANANAND.
AN. T.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
So one of the easiest places to find something to talk about is their profile. Okay. So the other reason Steve Dalton was so effective, because unlike so many messages that are sent, when you start talking about you, they're less interested, especially if they have 1,000 messages talking about themselves. So the strategy here with Steve Dalton was not to talk about myself. I talked about him. That's why it was effective. So what I'm suggesting, Sonal, is when you reach out to Ritu, instead of going in directly into your agenda saying, I'm a student in Illinois Tech, I need you to help me find a job, yada, yada, yada. Why don't you talk about them first? Because the idea is you want to have a back and forth, create a relationship that way so that they would be more apt to help you with whatever it is that you want them to help you with. Does it make
Yeah.
sense?
Because what I remember of the conversation was related to the job, but that would be too direct saying that.
Well, it could be direct, but if it was something that kind of stood out, that she really loved your background, for example, it would be appropriate to talk about it. But in your case, it sounds like she was lukewarm. It sounded like it was general conversation about your background, correct?
Yeah.
So my recommendation is, to your point of the conversation being kind of lukewarm, it wasn't really hot. It would turn out to you be talking about yourself. So a good strategy at this point would be to talk about her first. So looking at her profile, let's see, in the about section, developing growth strategies, any of this jump out to you that you could tie into based on your conversation that we could make about her?
Mm,
Kind of tough. Nothing's jumping out. How about talking about something she reposted? This related to
yeah,
what you were
that
looking
can
for?
be, yeah, that can be done.
Okay. What could you say about this? Before we do that, I want to jog your memory further, okay? When you're creating conversation with people, I'm going to share the next few examples to kind of like open up your brains with the possibility of what to say. So for example, Tesla, I tried to connect with this Tesla guy and take a look at what I say. Hey, Aaron, happy Monday. How could I pass up connecting with a recruiter from Tesla? Very different from your formal approach, right?
Yeah.
Take a look at what I said to Coca-Cola. Happy Tuesday, Chase. I love my Diet Coke. You guys getting ideas?
Yes.
The idea is to open the door and try to create it. This is what's called small talk in the US. Strangers could be falling in line and they could just talk something about random, like weather or sports or something like you're just seeing on the screen, just to get a conversation going. So the idea is you're applying that practice of small talk in the way that you're messaging with folks instead of going directly into business. Because if you go directly into business, unless they were open to it, they shut the door in your face.
Yeah.
So does this make sense that we're going through the small talk route, try to create and start a relationship that way, and then build that relationship and then go into your agenda?
Yes.
Questions so far?
Not right now.
So I'd like to go back to Ritu, and you said that this thing that she posted, how could you say something clever related to this post, related to you knowing about her, meeting her face to face? What could we say?
Um, I can start with congratulating her for the for being featured in that expo, and I can
This,
mention
go ahead.
and I can mention how my work experience is related to it.
Okay, so you said congratulating her and then talk about your work experience.
Or like maybe start by congratulating her.
Very
Uh,
good. I'm glad that you caught that. Remember what I said,
Yeah.
short, and then you're not necessarily dumping everything that you had to say because you opened up two concepts. I liked it when you said congratulate them because that's definitely going to catch their attention. And then you started going into talking about how you relate to them. I was going to suggest that you really want to start with the congratulations so that they respond back,
Yeah.
right? Because you want the back and forth. Okay, so what would you say exactly in the congratulations?
Hey Ritu, I saw your post. Congratulations for being featured in the 2023 Automotive Testing Expo.
Okay, how can I make that shorter to the point that we were saying earlier, that you want to keep it brief so that they can
Yeah.
read it immediately just by looking through the box?
So just
So the concept was good.
congratulations for being featured in the expo.
Very good. Very good. Did you see the difference there?
Yeah.
You could do the long message, which is what we tend to do because that's how we're trained. But I'm training you guys to use LinkedIn like it was texting because that's how people use it. Plus, we're trying to elicit a response from them. So do you see how your second message was better than the first?
Yeah.
Because they could see it really quickly, right? Assuming they're a busy hiring manager, they'll see it really quickly and somebody's actually congratulating them. Okay, and then she
Yeah.
responds, what would be your next step?
Maybe praising whatever she has done in that expo.
Okay, what would you say exactly?
Mm.
I'm really getting you guys to practice, right? Pratiksha, feel free to jump in with your ideas as well. Maybe Pratiksha can't speak. She's in a class or something. Ideas or no?
I love how you have used Python-based test automation.
Very good. You're getting the idea. So now you're very direct into like making it about them. You love how Ritu used it. So she's going to respond back. And before you know it, you're having something going on with a back and forth.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yes.
Do you understand the strategy of what we're trying to do? And is it quite obvious what the next step would be, right? Because you're trying to create the relationship. You're doing fantastic.
Yeah. So I need to maybe keep the conversation regarding her or her work for the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the first few messages. And this is where part of your learning as being part of this group is in reading the situation. Okay. You know that, let's just say face to face, sometimes you have this gut feel as to when to transition the conversation. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So part of the references out here under Connect Code, Connect Practice, under Connect Messaging, there's a section here that's called Transition. So before I share this with you, how would you transition the conversation? Let's just assume you went back and forth and the relationship is established. What are your thoughts on trying to make it about you now that you have created the relationship?
Maybe ask her some question which would be
Like
related
what?
to on the same topic which we were talking about. But
Okay, verbatim, tell me what your next message is. Because this is part of the practice.
I see that you have used Python for that. But maybe have you used Selenium? Have you used like some other technology?
Okay, very good. So you're still continuing the talking about the technical stuff and asking for her opinion.
Yeah. So with stuff which I have done, or like where I can participate a little more.
Okay, so your strategy is you're asking her specific questions about something that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is good strategy in keeping the conversation going, but at some point you want to, what do you want to get out of Ritu? What's your
A job.
ultimate goal? So do you want her to hire you or you want her to refer you?
Refer.
Okay, so you're looking for a referral. So here's an easy transition, okay? When you've created the relationship, everything you've sent to this point is good because it's going back and forth, right?
Yeah.
You understand how you got there. So now I'm ready to, I have a gut feel that, she is opened up. She's very okay. So one of the easiest ways to make a transition is this. Is it okay to ask a question?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm actually setting it up because you've been asking her questions all this time, right? But I'm transitioning the conversation by saying this.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I do that is because I'm setting up what is about to come. So assuming that you didn't know Ritu and you didn't know the answer to the question, one of the easiest ways to transition to follow up with, is it okay to ask the question? Ritu is obviously going to say yes. And then I'm going to say, does your company have a referral program? It may or may not apply to Ritu because you obviously spoke to her at the career fair.
Yeah.
So do you know if they have a referral program?
I'm not sure, but
Okay,
yeah, I
this is a
think
good
so.
question to ask them. This is a
Yeah.
good question to ask if you don't know. Because number one,
Yeah.
it's legitimate. Because I'm using it as a question, whether you know it or not. Because two things happen when you say, is it okay to ask the question? They'll say yes. And then your actual statement is, does your company have a referral program? If they say yes, that's awesome because they know you're looking for a job. And if they have a referral program, they make some money if you get hired and you work there for a little bit of time. So it just opened the door to the job search conversation specifically for Sonal.
Yeah.
Right? And if they said no, you still open up the conversation about job search. They know that you're looking for a job. That's why you ask that question.
Yes.
Did that help?
Yes, it helps.
Questions?
No.
Okay. So you're going to start applying that concept?
Yes, I need to start applying it.
Okay. So what did you learn today?
Keep the messages short.
Very good.
And the first few messages I have to keep like thinking of strategies to keep her invested.
Keep her invested and make it about them to
Them.
keep her
Yeah.
invested. Okay. Very good. And then you learn transitioning once you
Transition.
feel
Yeah.
that the relationship has been created.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have other questions? Because I want you to practice that.
Yes. No, I don't have other questions right now. I think I need to practice it more.
Very good. So like you saw in the index, take a look at some of the other suggestions that we have for Connect Code. Okay. And then you could practice with some of these people so that you're not practicing on the real quote unquote people. And then once you feel comfortable, then you see if you get stuck, go through the stuff in the Connect messaging. Otherwise, you could ask it in the next BRS call next Thursday, or send me a direct message, or put it in the BRS chat group.
Yes.
So there's all sorts of ways for you guys to get answer, because sometimes you need a timely answer.
Yes, I'll follow up on that.
All right. Final question, Sonal?
No, I don't have any questions right now. I think
No
once I
question.
start doing it, yeah, I will have
Yeah.
questions.
And that is the whole idea. We want you to keep on practicing. And then when you get stuck, I'm the resource. You could ask it. And I appreciate your time for being the guinea pig, so to speak, so that we have something to talk about, because I'm pretty sure you're not the only one who gets stuck. And
Yeah.
what you just learned today is going to be shared by the others. I'm going to share this as a recording to the rest of the team. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for calling in today, Sonal.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
Barney.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.